Into President Xi's visit to the United States, I spoke with Won Sohn, a professor of economics at California State University. I asked him what stood out in President Xi's policy speech in Seattle.
Well, first of all, his speech was reassuring. First of all, China is the second largest economy in the world, and also probably the most important economic engine in the world as well. So economic slowdown, that has been a major concern, not only for the U.S., but especially for emerging markets. And he told us that essentially he will do whatever he has to make sure that economic growth is on track. To be sure, China's economic growth is slowing down. We all know that, but it is not going to crash. It is not going to have a hard landing. So that to me was reassuring. Also, he talked about the stock market. And people wondered, does the Chinese government know what they were doing, because they were doing many different things. But also coming from President's mouth, stating that really he wanted to stabilize the market, and that's essentially what he has done. So that was reassuring as well. As you know, cybercrime, that is a major issue in the United States and, for that matter, in the world. And we are concerned about commercial theft of some of the secrets, and then so. He said he would start some sort of a dialogue between the U.S. and China to make sure that those issues are addressed. And so I think that is a very good beginning, even though clearly it will take time to solve those problems.
Can I ask you about the different aspects of this trip? Seattle, first stop, Boeing, talking to tech executives.
Microsoft.
Exactly, kind of showing this kind of integrated nature, which it seems almost like a circulatory system, how economies are now. Everyone kind of interdependent upon each other. Then he comes here, a lot of policy, diplomacy, then on to the UN. Talk to me about the state visit, each step along the way, and what's important and what should we be looking for?
Well, he went to Seattle because that's where technology is, a lot of technology is. And in the future, China is going to grow, and it's not going to be based on more steel mills and then more condos and apartments. They want to grow based on technology, and that's the way to raise productivity in China. So getting to know the leaders in Seattle, America's tech industry, that was very important. Also reassure the tech industry leaders that they can invest in China, and then they will be protected. And to some extent, the president, talked about intellectual property as well. And so I think it was important to bridge and cement the relationship between the tech side of the U.S. economy and China. And that is important for the Chinese economy going forward. Clearly, politically, there are a lot of differences from the South China Sea to the foreign exchange, and then North Korea, and et cetera. So I'm sure they'll talk about those things in Washington. Also, at the same time, President Xi is coming to America to address the United Nations in New York City, and that is really the world stage. And then I think Mr. Xi is now the statesman in the world, so that he wants to make his point not only to the U.S. but really to the world, and I'm sure his message will be broadcast throughout the world.
But I want to get your measure of the man, because you're one of the few people that can sit across from me and talk about meeting him not only here in the United States but also in China. How would you describe President Xi?
He's a very intelligent, very likable person. I had a chance to not only listen to him in a small group, but also got to shake his hand. And he has a smile on his face, and he makes you feel very, very, very comfortable. That was the impression not only by me, but for the other 100 people in the luncheon.